Large red circle has been spotted on the bottom mid-right on Streamlabs desktop. This means the streaming is getting started.
It's something, all right. Don't worry, honey. I'll get you inside safe and sound before it gets dark. And I've got the flashlight.
I know. I'm okay.
Alice had a phobia. The fear of darkness. I wanted to make sure we were inside.
Another
with the
beginning
lights on
also
for
goes
sense.
back to the time when I was working on Max Payne games. I went to study screenwriting at Theatre Academy of Finland, and I wrote a couple of movie screenplays studying there. And one of them was this horror movie, screenplay for a horror movie that I wrote in Finnish actually, and the title was Pohjavesi, which translated would be groundwater, but maybe kind of more accurate tonally would be to call it undertow. And there were a few elements there that I later decided to steal from myself, and they all ended up as part of the story of Alan Wake.
On the toe.
Alice had told me about Cauldron Lake Lodge. The old building used to be a hotel, but these days it was no longer open to the public. Here we go. Let's take a look inside. Come on.
It's dark in there. We need lights. Can you figure out how to get the power on, honey?
Hello? Anyone here? The water was clear but dark. It looked very deep.
The Deerfest guests have already started to arrive. Just ran into one on the ferry. A famous artist, no less. We'll see if we can rope him into an interview later on. Now let's go to the phones. Caller, you're on KBF-FM.
Hi, Pat. It's Rose.
Why, hello, Rose. What's on your mind?
I know who that famous artist was. It was Alan Wake, wasn't it? He's my favorite writer.
Well, Rose,
I just saw him at the diner. Oh, I am so excited he's here.
I'm sure he's glad to be here, too. Well, folks, I guess the secret's out. This is Pat Maine on KBF-FM. And now, some music.
Great. So much for keeping a low profile. A shoebox filled with books by Thomas Zane sat on the shelf. I'd never heard of him before.
The Temple of Shadow and Mist. The labyrinth of me and her dreams to prevail, kept from sleep.
For a moment, the oppressive feel of the nightmare I had seen on the ferry returned. Damn. I needed to get the power running in the cabin. There had to be a fuse box or a generator somewhere on the island. The cabin looked like a time capsule from the 60s, or even earlier.
The power cable goes to that shed over there.
An old generator had been connected to the power cable.
The lights are on! Good work, honey. I'll freshen up a bit and start settling in.
Okay, I'll look around a bit.
Sure thing! Have fun!
The island had once been... It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here. Story. Maybe it would be that again.
So in this movie screenplay that I had written called Undertow, there are several elements that I lifted and used in Alan Wake. The Anderson brothers, Tor and Odin, are already part of that. There is this witch-like character from Slavic folklore called Baba Yaga, and obviously her echo is very much present in the Dark Presence, in Barbara Chacker. and this mystical light switch, the clicker, is also part of this horror movie story already.
Alice? Honey?
Alan, I'm upstairs. I have a surprise for you.
Well, hello there.
I'm not the surprise. It's in the study. Go take a look.
Okay.
Surprise!
Alice? What is this?
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn it, Alice, everyone
Hey, hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists. Maybe...
So now you want to get me committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Just don't! I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice! God damn it! I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through. Damn it. Alice? Alice? Alice! The cabin had gone dark. All the lights were out.
Another beginning that also was a lot in my mind already working on Max Payne games, and just bouncing around ideas and wanting to do something different compared to Max Payne, was that it just felt like a big deal and important to me back then that because at Remedy we make action games with action gameplay, and I was thinking a lot about the idea of what if we would have a protagonist, a hero you play, who is not a professional action hero. That felt like a refreshing thought at that point. Somebody who physically and skill-wise is an everyman, even though you could claim that Alan Wake does have attributes that makes him something else than an everyone. But for the challenges he faces, he would be unprepared.
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
Keep going, Alan. Wake up.
Alice? Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot. Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
for me, looking back at Alan Wake and the story of Alan Wake, certain things just feel like they have staying power and feel very significant and important for the overall experience. Wake says in the opening line, he talks about the unanswered mystery as something that stays with us the longest. And then we have a poem from Thomas Zane where he says, "Beyond the shadow you settle for, there is a miracle illuminated."
I got to check again the smug meaning. Presunçoso, convencido.
The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
Now I know that I got to shot to destroy the pirate camps. I find the last coffee thermos. Coffee thermos.
Hello? Hello? Is someone there? The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night. Departure by Alan Wake.
So if we take Wake's opening sentence about mystery and Thomas Zane poem about something beyond the shadow you settle for, I feel we are very much at the heart of what Alan Wake is about. I mean, we just tend to have this overwhelming yearning to have answers and to find one final truth about things. I mean, that's something that we want in real life. That's something that we often look for in fiction, because that kind of is something that consoles us. It's a very comforting thought, but then very often our lives are nothing like that. There is no one final answer. You know, things can be looked at from many different viewpoints, and this kind of yearning for mystery it's a great driving force. It's driving force for us for discovery and science, and in detective fiction, it's something that we chase, the answer. It just kind of is a great propelling force to drive us forward. But at the same time, you know, should we have that final answer is the question.
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone. The man turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us, but the axe he lifted was plain to see. It glistened with the blood of his victim. He grinned madly. The shadows were alive, distorting his features. It was a scene from a nightmare, but I was awake.
Glistened. Brilhava. Greenwich. Sorri ironicamente.
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident. Hey! Hey, you!
Phil!
There's been an accident. I need help. Listen,
Deposit.
I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in
Oh, hell.
Coral Stucky.
Please,
To meet you, non-refundable
reservation.
deposit required. Fair and square. Fair and
Where?
Taken stood before me. It was impossible to focus on it, as if it stood in a blind spot caused by a brain tumor and eye disease. It was bleeding shadows like ink underwater, like a cloud of blood from a shark bite. I was terrified. I squeezed the flashlight like my life depended on it, willing it to stop coming any closer. Suddenly something gave, and the light seemed to shine brighter. Out in the open, I was as good as dead. The office looked like my best bet.
You lose?
Shit.
Digitize it.
It's the latest thing! Great!
Fall.
I had to figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stucky would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
During your recommend trying
Walking.
it's the latest thing.
Testably.
Proven health benefits let you
Kill 2 birds.
one.
Stone.
You can see the sights and keep those cholesterol levels
Down.
at the same
Time.
Yes.
Bright Falls Sheriff Station. How may I...
Hello? Hello?
Shit.
This is bad. The bulldozer had gone over the cliff with the office. I hoped Stucky had suffered the same fate, but I wasn't planning on staying to find out. There were more of them. I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something. There were no bodies. They just disappeared. If I was dreaming, It felt real enough to make me sick. Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it.
So far, and the shot reaches me again. It's passing through these nails.
The dark forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
That's what I say.
It seems a manuscript page. It is a manuscript page. This page is only available here on the Nightmare difficult mode, like displayed on the bottom left side. Find this page in Nightmare difficult mode. Okay, I'm trying. Probably she was lost in this part of the game, this chapter.
What the hell was that? When I saw the river below, something uncoiled itself inside my head. I realized that I'd have to find a way across. I didn't even want to look at the water.
got lost. Holy shit. A real accidentally shot. These things don't happen.
Stucky was still out there, in the dark, stalking me.
Almost there. The dark presence wakes up and I found the missing one.
For a long time, the dark presence had been weak, sleeping. Nothing but a half-forgotten nightmare or a shadowy flicker in the corner of an eye in the forest at night. Not real enough to properly exist, and yet too evocative to fade away completely. Now it was waking up. The rider like a fly caught in a spider's web, each jerk and kick vibrating the strands that led deep into its lair. It was aware of him now, and it could use him. All he'd need was a little incentive.
For a long time, the dark person had been weak, sleeping off. Strands. Fuse. Shit.
Is not prejudice, occupation.
Large red circle. They are appearing on the model mid right on Streamlabs desktop will disappear. This means the recording is ending.